What does renewable fuel mean to you? Maybe you thought of ethanol, which is commonly produced by using corn and sugarcane, but some people feel this is a waste of food that, well, we can be eating. Or maybe when you think of renewable fuel, you don't think of anything at all. Well, what about this alternative? Used vegetable oil, one of our waste products that can be turned into biodiesel. To see how this process works, let's start at the source, the restaurant. Meet Executive Chef Douglas Anderson of the Four Seasons Hotel in Washington, D.C. In his kitchen, used vegetable oil doesn't go to waste.
We go through daily about 20 gallons for sure of vegetable oil because we change the fryers, 4 of them in the hotel every day. And so it is an important resource to try to do something with. Greenlight has a special container they have, which is incredibly clean, I might add, that you dump the oil on the top and they come in and drain it.
So where does Greenlight take the used vegetable oil? To their biodiesel plant in Princess Anne, Maryland.
This is what the used cooking oil looks like when it comes to us. It's kind of nasty, right? It's got water in it and it has solids in it, and it's not something that we can use as is for production of biodiesel. So it has to be cleaned up. In terms of footprint, we're about 6,000 square feet all told, and this plant, as it sits, can produce about 4 million gallons a year.
Vegetable oil was basically taken from a once living thing, and it actually has to go through a pretty intense process to convert vegetable oil over into something that can be used as a fuel the way you and I define it. And that process, incidentally, does take energy.
So if you take a look at the energy that we have to use to process the oil here, and what the energy content of the biodiesel, it's about 1 energy in to get 4 out.
Then hey, why not? There's no reason not to use a waste product for an energy source.
After the used vegetable oil is cleaned up, it moves to the gas station.
The EPA requires that a certain percentage of transportation fuel that is sold, a certain percentage of that is alternative fuel. But in 2010, when the revised version of that legislation came out, there is a portion of that that must be biodiesel. So you use a 5% out of your diesel that you're using for your state vehicles. Just 5% biodiesel in the fossil diesel can make an impact on the environment. That doesn't require vehicles to make any mechanical changes. You know, you can use much more than 5%, particularly in the summer, without any modifications at all.
It all sounds great, right? Minimal downsides, and our waste is being put to good use. Stop right there. I'm way ahead of you. Let's talk about money.
The costs will go down. As the industry learns about how to do things, it will go down. And it is. It already has been.
The incentive is we see a use for a product that we no longer need that can become something of use. So it's more of a moral payment than any cash or anything of that nature. You would think as a culture we would try to pull ourselves from these fossil fuels, become more efficient with them, to become more patriotic, if nothing else.
What are your thoughts?